We're going to be reading out behind-the-scenes information and production history via the free encyclopedia for this classic Doctor Who serial, Day of the Daleks. Working titles for this story included The Ghost Hunters and Years of Doom. As originally written, the serial revolved around the Ogrons instead of the Daleks. It was planned to bring the Daleks back at the end of the season in a serial called The Daleks in London by Robert Sloman. This plan was dropped when the production staff realised that the show would not have a hook to entice viewers after the Third Doctor's introduction in Season 7 and that of the Master in Season 8, and Sloman's serial was allegedly shaping up to be too similar to the Dalek invasion of Earth. Instead, writer Lewis Marks was asked to alter his serial to include the Daleks. Osterley Park was originally proposed as the setting and location for Day of the Daleks. The name was changed to Orderly House in the finished program and renamed Osterley House in the novelisation. John Pertwee, who would later say, "I have never liked the Daleks," thought that the monsters are very limited and could not understand their popularity. However, he would concede that the publicity which followed the announcement of their return to the series by Barry Letts was perhaps worth my biting my lip. On the other hand, he enjoyed working with the story's guest cast. He also liked the Ogrons, as unlike the Daleks, their design allowed the actors' mouths and lips to be seen, and thus he felt allowed the actors playing them to come to grips with their characters, and with an entire range of expressions available, make the viewers believe in their performance. Pertwee also recalled he persuaded Barry Letts to include the trike scene in the story, reflecting his love of vehicles. However, he considered the chase sequence involving them to be one of the more dangerous stunts that I'd insisted on doing during his time in the series. Terry Nation, who penned the first story, The Daleks, in 1963, was given an on-screen credit at the end of all 4 episodes of this story as having originated them. The production team only had 3 Dalek props available for use during the production of this serial, so only 3 Daleks appear on screen at any one time. One of the Daleks is painted gold, so only 2 regular casings are seen in shot. Film editing is used to attempt the illusion of more than 3 Daleks. The final battle at Orderly House was disliked by viewers, as it was quite obvious that only 3 Daleks were attacking. On the 2011 DVD release, CGI and newly shot footage was used to revamp the scene, making it appear that more Daleks were attacking the house. Early in the first episode, there is a scene where the Doctor and Jo are working on the TARDIS console in the Doctor's lab. A mistake by the Doctor causes another Doctor and Jo to briefly appear at the entrance to the lab and then vanish. Originally, the serial was to end with a scene where the Doctor and Jo went back to the lab and saw their earlier selves working on the TARDIS console as before, after which they would vanish. However, director Paul Bernard refused to film it, saying, "Once it's over, it's over." Script editor Terence Dix would later restore the scene in his novelisation of the story. This story features the TARDIS console once more outside of the TARDIS itself, as in the Ambassadors of Death and the Inferno. This serial is unusual because episodes 2 and 3 begin with the cliffhanger music then to the previous episode being played again. Dropmore House was instead used as a location for the Peace Conference. Brentford Towers in Green Dragon Lane, Brentford, was used to portray the Controller's futuristic base. Scott Fredericks would later played Max Steel in the image of the Fendal, 1977. Jimmy Winston, who portrays Shura, who sacrifices his life with the Dalekanium bomb at the end of the episode. Jimmy Winston had previously been the keyboard player in the rock band Small Faces.